Welcome to the Doctor's Mentor Show. If you believe that medicine is an industry and not a profession, if you enjoy submitting complex reimbursement claims, or you would do another residency just for fun, be advised, you're about to be offended. You should probably leave now.
All this talk about mentoring doctors is ridiculous. I thought doctors learned to do everything better than everyone else the first year of medical school. At least that's the way they act.
If you love assisting patients with vitality breakthroughs, if the right to practice medicine without interference is important, and you want expert tips for practice freedom and profits to support your epic life, welcome aboard and prepare to be blown away. The Doctor's Mentor Show starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Lori Barr.
It's Dr. Lori Barr, and you're listening to the Doctor's Mentor Show. And another question that doctors ask me about podcasting is, who's going to want to listen to my show again and again and again? Now, that's the question they ask, but the question they ought to be asking me is, who do I want to be listening to my show again and again and again? The first question comes from a lack of confidence in being able to create content that's consumable and interesting to an audience again and again and again. The second question, though, really addresses the purpose of the podcast, and that is to gain profit in some way from the efforts of putting out that content again and again and again that encourages people to listen. So if instead we address the question, who do I want to be listening to my show? This introduces the concept of the ideal listener. And your ideal listener is similar and maybe the same as your ideal client or patient. So how can you tell if you've selected the right ideal listener? This should be somebody that's easy to communicate with, that's fun for you to communicate with, that you gain energy from communicating with, and who is willing to pay you for what you communicate. Eventually, not at first. And eventually, as the relationship grows, they are. Let me give you an example. One of my favorite podcasters is Chalene Johnson. She's an amazing businesswoman, and if you listen to her description of her ideal customer, she describes a petite blonde from Texas who is her best friend, who's 40-something. Now, that being said, if you go to any kind of a live event that Chalene puts on, you will see guys there ranging in age from late teens to 70s. You will see women there and men of all different hair colors, and certainly from places other than Texas, although, Texas is pretty awesome. The point is, if you can identify one person and be consistent about communicating in a way that deepens the relationship with that one person, a person you know, love, and trust, and who you want to spend time with, then you'll see that other people are attracted to the relationship you're creating. And they want that energy. They want that bond that you're building. So they put themselves in the role of your ideal client, even though they might not exactly be your ideal client. When I'm teaching profitable podcasting to physicians or to other professionals, we have a whole series of questions where we really drill down on what the ideal listener looks like, what they enjoy doing, where they spend their time, where do they go on social media, how do they make decisions, who is the decision maker in their family, who do they have to ask permission from, who else has a stake in their game, where do they work, what do they do with their free time, where do they go on vacation. It's like creating a character for a novel. And in a way you are. The novel is called Your Business or Practice. And the character you're creating is the person you'd like to walk through the door more often than not. And that usually is the best ideal listener for your profitable podcast. Now, some people go into podcasting for a whole different reason. And if you're into it for a different reason, if it's a passion project, you may speak to a different audience. If you're trying to attract one off from your ideal end user, for example, let's say that you are a physician and that you serve patients, yet the person you really want to be sponsoring your show is a corporation, then your message may actually be more designed for the corporate decision maker than your end patient, some of the time at least. So these are possibilities with identifying your ideal listener.
Your next step.
Your next step is to stop asking the question, who would listen to me anyway? And instead, start asking the question, who do I want to be listening to my show again and again and again? And really start drilling down on who that person is, who you'd like to have as your ideal listener. Now, I do have some spots open for my next P3 Live program. It's coming up very shortly. And if you'd like to join us at an amazing location, then you need to message me right away. Just go to thedoctorsmentor.com and leave me a voice message telling me that you're interested in the next P3 Live, Profitable Podcasting for Professionals Live. And I'll get somebody to follow up with you from my team and see if it's a match for you. It's coming up really quickly, and I only have a few spots left. It's a very small, intimate program. And this time around, we are definitely focusing on the profits part. So even if you're already podcasting, if you want the fast path to profits, come and join us. It's kind of a mystery, and it's a lot of fun. Come join us for P3 Live, Profitable Podcasting for Physicians and Other Professionals. I hope to see you there. I'm Dr. Lori Barr. One idea is all it takes to change your world. See you next time.
Are you stopping at a hospital? Hello? Don't you know that hospitals are one of the sickest places on the planet? Don't touch anything in there and get out as fast as you can.